Old Sultan by the Brothers Grimm.
Standard in a quiet countryside, where the fields rolled softly beneath the sun, there once lived a shepherd who owned a loyal old dog named Sultan. For many years, Sultan had guarded the flock, watched the gate, and stood faithfully by his master's side. But now his muzzle was grey, his steps were slow, and his teeth were all gone. He could no longer chase a wolf or bark loud enough to scare thieves away. Still, his eyes were kind and filled with devotion. One summer morning, as the shepherd stood before his house with his wife, he sighed deeply. "Tomorrow," he said, "I shall shoot Old Sultan. He's no use to us now." His wife looked at him with sorrow. "Oh, please don't do such a cruel thing," she said gently. "The poor creature has served us faithfully for so many years. Surely he deserves rest and peace." But the shepherd only shook his head. "He's eaten enough bread in his lifetime. Tomorrow shall be his last day." Poor Sultan lay near the doorway and heard every word. His heart trembled within him. That night, while the moonlight spread quietly across the fields, he slipped away into the dark forest to find his old friend, the wolf. When he found him, Sultan's eyes were full of fear. "Dear friend," he said, "my master plans to kill me tomorrow because I've grown old and weak. I have served him well, but he no longer needs me. What shall I do?" The wolf listened carefully, then smiled with a clever glint in his eye. "Do not worry, old friend," he said softly. "I'll give you advice that will save your life. Tomorrow morning, your master and his wife will go out into the fields, taking their little child with them. They'll lay the baby behind the hedge while they work. You lie beside the child, as if guarding it. Then I will come out of the woods and pretend to run away with it. You must chase me, bark, growl, and follow. I will drop the child and you'll carry it back safely." The wolf grinned. "Your master will think you've saved his child and will love you forever. You'll have food, rest, and warmth for all your days." Sultan's tail wagged for the first time in weeks. "That is a wise plan, my friend," he said. And so it was arranged. The next morning, when the shepherd and his wife went into the fields, everything happened exactly as the wolf had promised. The wolf darted from the woods and seized the child. The mother screamed. The shepherd shouted. But before they could move, Sultan leapt forward, barking with all the strength left in him. He chased the wolf, who dropped the child unharmed, and the brave old dog carried it back to his master's arms. Tears filled the shepherd's eyes. "Old Sultan has saved our child," he cried. "He shall never want for anything again." The shepherd's wife hurried home to prepare a feast for Sultan. She gave him her husband's old cushion to sleep on. And from that day on, the faithful dog lived in comfort and peace. A few days later, the wolf came by with a grin. "Well done, old friend," he said slyly. "Now remember your promise. When I come for one of your master's fat sheep, just look the other way." Sultan's eyes grew serious. "No," he said quietly. "I will never betray my master." The wolf laughed and thought it was a joke. "We'll see," he said. But that very night, the wolf crept into the shepherd's yard, his belly rumbling with hunger. Sultan, who had been watching, warned his master in time. The shepherd hid behind the barn door with a heavy stick. When the wolf came close, looking for a fat sheep to steal, the shepherd jumped out and struck him again and again until the wolf yelped and ran off, howling with pain. Limping into the forest, the wolf growled, "You'll pay for this, old dog. I'll have my revenge." His pride was wounded and his anger burned like fire. The next morning, the wolf sent the wild boar as a messenger. "Tell Sultan," said the wolf, "to meet me in the forest at noon. We shall settle this like warriors." Sultan had no one to stand by him except the shepherd's old three-legged cat. She was frail and slow, but she agreed to go with him. Together they made their way into the forest. Sultan walking steadily, the cat limping beside him with her tail high in the air. When the wolf and the boar saw them coming, they grew uneasy. The cat's tail looked like a sword glinting in the sun, and every time she limped, they thought she was bending down to pick up a stone to throw. "This doesn't look good," whispered the wolf. "Let's hide." The boar crouched behind a bush, and the wolf climbed up into a tree to keep watch. Sultan and the cat arrived, but saw no one. The forest was quiet. "Strange," said Sultan. "They challenged us, yet they do not appear." Just then, the cat noticed something move in the bushes, the tip of the boar's ear. Thinking it was a mouse, she pounced with all her might, biting and scratching until the boar squealed and ran off, shouting, "Look up in the tree. That's where the enemy hides." Sultan looked up and saw the wolf trembling among the branches. "Come down, coward," barked Sultan. "You started this quarrel, now face it." The wolf's ears drooped. He climbed down slowly, ashamed. "You've won," he said softly. "Let's be friends again. I see now that you are braver and truer than I." Sultan nodded. "Let there be peace between us then." And from that day on, they quarreled no more. The wolf kept his distance. The shepherd slept safely. And Sultan lived out his days in peace and honor. When the evenings grew still, he would lie by the fire, dreaming of the fields he once guarded and the friends he had known. And though his body grew weak, his heart remained strong. For loyalty never grows old and kindness never fades. And so, the old dog Sultan lived happily for the rest of his life, loved by his master and remembered as the most faithful friend a man could ever have. The end. You have listened to the story of the Old Sultan by the Brother Grimm.
If you want more stories like this, like, leave a follow or subscribe.